people, like, we don't win by being on an island of ourselves. Like, that never worked against nature. Like, we wouldn't have made it this far in survival if we'd been alone. You know, like, humanity is much more effective at defeating big problems when it's works together. But you know, it's just people just want to win real bad right now over other people.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's just. I totally agree. People want to win, and it's like hashtag resist. You know, it's like, okay, Donald Trump's elected, and he's effectively triggering the left into making stupid decisions.
Right. I mean, he's good about getting unhinged Lena Dunham-esque people to impale themselves. That's something that he is very good at, and I think also that.
Like the other day, like Andrew Cuomo, I think it was Andrew Cuomo, he said, like, America was never really that great. I was like, wait, what? Seriously, that's the first thing that you said on your big speech there? Like, dude, come on, you don't say that. You say that America is already great or something else to that effect, but he's tried to. I was just like, because he's responding to Donald Trump's, make America great again. So there's only two ways that you can respond to that. You can respond, America's already great, or you can go, America was never really that great. And he chose the second option, obviously.
You never want to let somebody choose your argument for you by them picking an argument and leaving you the other one. Like, you're not going to come with a good argument that way, especially when the person creating the original argument is Donald Trump, who is a dumbass. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to, like the way you deal with Donald Trump, like, I wish I could have put a candidate against Donald Trump. If I could have put a candidate against Donald Trump.
Rand Paul.
Well, Rand Paul was against him and he didn't succeed. And I think the problem with Rand Paul succeeding wise is that in a physical debate, Rand Paul is just too little.
Like, in stature?
Yeah, he's too small. And he's physically too overpowerable. Like, Donald Trump is like kind of a bigger guy. He's like, well, not really a bigger guy. He's like a 6 foot, 250 pound guy. So he's like a big enough guy to where, and he talks tough, and like everyone else on the stage with him, I think every single one of them was probably smaller and weaker speaking than him. So that automatically fails in a presidential debate.
Really?
Every time. So like, I think now what would have been awesome is a seasoned 8 years into office Glenn Jacobs. Glenn Jacobs said it is on the news the other day. He's like, during my campaign, you got to think he just ran a campaign where there was no negative personal attacks right now.
Really?
In this climate. And it was very contentious, and it was a war, like, especially during the primary. There was no personal attacks on either side. He's like, I just was glad. I mean, I felt great that our campaign, like, on all sides, there was really no negative campaigning. And I was like, it's because you're 7 feet fucking tall. I'm 380 pounds. And you can pick human beings up and sling them left to right. So, wow, there's a little bit of an automatic, like, if you've ever met him in person, like, I've been to, like, parties at him where, like, if I could, like, hide completely behind him and you'd never know I was there because he's so huge. And, like, it's something where your instincts are aware that no matter who you are, he could probably accidentally kill you. And
sorry.
If you're Donald Trump, are you going to use some of your bully talk on Glenn Jacobs, who's right next to you? Probably not.
So are you saying that? Are you saying that, like, in order to defeat a Donald Trump in this moment, it's not going to be through words or logic or reason?
No, that doesn't.
Okay,
that doesn't work on the presidential level in the first place.
Yeah, I guess
you can't
that makes
necessarily
sense.
Like, you don't want to argue a bunch of different issues when you're running for president. Even for Congress, you want to stick to 3 and then focus on. I'll tell you, if you want to see what I'm talking about in action, is look at Jesse Ventura's one debate that you can see on YouTube.
Because that's all he needed was one debate.
It won the election. Like, okay, going in the debate, I think he was in 3rd place, but he was starting to kind of grow. But basically, the way the debate was set up, it was like this Rockefeller-funded Rush Republican guy, and then like the Democrat, I think, was maybe the incumbent and was like the effective establishment, and they both had unlimited support and money and whatever. Mm-hmm. But they were both typical politicians and very nervous in what they were saying, and this was kind of a change election, and Jesse Ventura is very outspoken and
in your face
and thoughtful, but a little crazy.
Yeah.
But
people like a little crazy.
But he's also used to be a Navy SEAL, so people are okay with that kind of crazy, where you're like a little crazy because you're a Navy SEAL or whatever. But they're like on like a couch kind of setting, or I don't know, some chairs that are right next to each other, or maybe even a couch, and he's in the middle. And I think the moment that the election for him was won was, I feel like I have an understanding of these voting populations a little bit with some of this gut stuff. But there's a point where they asked him, they're like, look, you're in third place. So you got the Republican and the Democrat. They're, more likely to win. If it were to, which they always do with a third party guy. Mm-hmm. They're like, if you absolutely had to vote for one of the two of them.
Jesse, who would you vote for?
And he like, instead of being like dismissing the question, like, I'm the real, like most third party candidates did, he was like, and these guys are the only ones I get to pick? And he puts his thumbs in their faces. Right? And he just asks, are these guys the only ones I get to pick? And he puts their thumbs in their faces. And I think everyone watching was like, yeah, are those the only guys we get to pick? And they're like, meanwhile, this other guy's like, got his thumbs in their faces. And they don't even do anything about it.
Wow.
Do we want somebody like running our entire state who will let some guy put a thumb in his face in the middle of a debate about becoming the governor of that state and just like do nothing about it?
That's crazy. I never really thought of it through that angle. It's sort of like an evolutionary biology kind of angle.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it goes back to our ape brain where we like the bigger guy, we like kind of go, oh, well, maybe
that's why
he's
I think
right.
Glenn Jacobs for the libertarian movement long term is like, I think he's like the best thing we've got for executive positions, like running for president or something, because once he becomes sophisticated at running organizations and he becomes more composed at his speaking, which this first campaign's already done, and he's already been in front of crowds his whole life, and he's physically bigger than anyone that could ever be in politics. I just feel like he's on just a spiral. He could be president of the United States in 30 years. He could be governor of Tennessee in 8, 10. Just because it's so difficult, that smell test, like that's the way people organize society, and especially when they look at something like a president, where like it's kind of an avatar for do we fuck with the United States or not? You know what I mean? Like I feel like he wins that argument without even having to speak yet. And basically, what his election comes down to with him every time is, can he look like he's not just some kind of giant oaf, sort of stereotypical wrestler jock dumbass? Like if the minute he comes with some intelligence, everybody's gonna be like, whoa, I didn't see this many genetic abilities be given to one human being at once. I didn't think that was possible. So that's very interesting. And then I just see him being, because of that, it's easy to win. I think Donald Trump worked that to his advantage. He was kind of a bully style, and he was bigger than the other guys, and a lot of times he was in the middle because the polling was good at the beginning, so it just kind of looked like he was the boss and everybody else was kind of sniveling for their job. That was the way the debates came across.